Okay. Itamix ganatoni. Nikesko to anom itestsotspi. Have to check my traps. It is the morning of Saturn Day, January 6th, 2024, in the last quarter of the lunar cycle Misamiko Komiatos, the long night's moon. Still rather warm out here for January. There's a couple of deer checking me out over here amidst the trees. Matunni, when I showed up, there was a whole herd of deer here. I think they're still here. But they have a big buck with them somewhere. He was here yesterday. He's just laying down. Couldn't give a care in the world that I was around. But he's got 5 or 6 ladies that he's kind of keeping an eye on. And they're pretty afraid of me. But looks like I can see 3 of them right here this morning, just here in the trees. You probably can't even see them. There's a couple back in here. There's one just over in here by the graves. Okay, can you see them looking at me? I won't scare them off. I'll try not to anyway. Whitetails. Awatoi means they wag their tails. I'm trying to learn. I'll figure it out today. Maybe even, well, before this video is finished, I'll figure it out and I'll put it on here. A way to talk about the voles as short-tailed mice. Hey, and I'm pretty sure it would be ikakkohsoyis for short tail. Ikakkohsoyis, but it might be preferable to use makohsoyis. I'm not sure for short, just like in Blackfoot, you know, you have it's different than English. And like length, for instance, when we're talking about the long night's moon, long nights, length in time is misam, so it's misamko komiatos, long night's moon. But that's long as in time. If I was saying long as in distance, I would say in no instead of misam, because length in time and distance is not the same things in Blackfoot like they are in English. In English, you just use the same word and it means, and it's used almost metaphorically, you know, an embodied sense of length, like actual distance is then used metaphorically to talk about something that's more conceptual, like time. In Blackfoot, it's not like that. You actually have a separate concept for the time duration and the length duration. So when I'm talking about short tails, ikak is short, but it's almost like short in stature, hey? In tallness. It's associated with young people, right? Ikak, youth. But maka is more like stunted, short. So I'm not sure which one to use. I'm gonna ask. I've already messaged my friend Nitatua Pak Stachkumi, Dwayne Mistaken Chief. He's one of my principal language teachers. And I've already messaged him this morning asking him which is the preferable use. Hey, I haven't caught anything at this site for a few nights in a row, so I'm gonna move this trap. We're gonna go find some new sites for some of these traps that I got on this side, and I'm gonna show you. I've bought some new traps for voles that are pretty cool. But we're gonna collect these old traps first. Yeah, so I'm just not sure which one to use, but that's what I fortunately have Fluent speaking friends for. And Chris's mom and dad are both, of course, Fluent, so I'll figure this shit out. But it is cool. Think about it in your head, like the difference. What must that mean? And Blackfoot thought that you don't have those same kind of metaphors like that. You have to actually have a different concept for short and long distance versus time, and not only distance versus time, but as you see with short, you know, stature versus time versus like I wonder what I have to find out what the short time is too, because that even I don't know appropriately. I know my longs. I don't know my shorts. Let's see. Should be another trap right around here. Somewhere's not far. Oh, here we are. Yeah, we're gonna move all these ones to the find new locations for them, since they're not catching anymore. But I've caught quite a few voles and mice on this plot already, so not surprised I'm kind of running out of catches here. Let's go look at the new traps I have. They're pretty cool. Some updates to give today. I'm gonna take Taylor for a walk. Give you everything for the week, but I guess the one big key thing that happened is that it does look like Mahoney has secured for us a second mortgage. I forget the company she's worked it through, but I looked them up online. They got a pretty nice professional web page and stuff. I'm sure it's going to be fairly high interest, but at least it's going to be not getting my house taken away. So we are getting a second mortgage on our equity. We had the house, she had the house looked at, what do they call it, assessed or whatever, when somebody comes through and evaluates the house, what it's valued at. And the evaluation came out to be 420,000, which is about $90,000 more than what we originally paid for it. So this is the equity that we're going to borrow off of. We're going to borrow $90,000. 45 of that will go to Mahoney. She can pay off her loan in its entirety, use what's left to pay off, you know, the bulk of whatever credit debt she has. I don't think she has too much. I think she's even going to pay off all her debt with this. Me, I got more to worry about. But I'll get 45 of that, which I'm going to apply to my credit card. I have a couple of big debts to be concerned about. Nothing, of course, that's secured on the house like Mahoney had, so that's the benefit. But I do got some scary stuff going on. I didn't realize how scary till the other day. Like, you know, ever since I split with Mahoney, I fell back behind on my taxes. You know, I've been kind of screwed up since I split with Mahoney, you know. I almost feel like I should go get diagnosed, like I might have some kind of something like bipolar or something, you know, because I have these kind of swings where I'm really inefficient and depressed for, you know, a couple weeks, and then and very energized and efficient and working good for a couple, you know, like but it feels like maybe I should. No, I don't want to go. Even if I did have something going on with my brain, I don't know that I'd want to medicate my brain, you know, like probably shouldn't mess with that sucker, right? I don't know, but if my problems are interfering too much in my success in life, then, you know, yeah, but I don't know. Anyway, I've got like I didn't fill my taxes out for like the time I left Mahoney 2018 or whatever, till recently I started filing, and I never filed 2021 yet or 2020. But as part of the process of getting the second mortgage, I went online to the Canada Revenue Agency, and I had to pull my 2022 tax assessment, which I did have done. But when I was in there, I noticed they already assessed my 2021 without me even turning it in. And when I opened up that assessment, it says I owe them $34,000 from that tax year alone. And I saw they also assessed 2020. I didn't even go look at that because I'm sure it's crazy. Now this is one of my new traps. Check these traps out. This is a cool little funky new trap that I've been using, and I'll show you how it works. Basically, you have a foot pedal. Grab a stick if I can. And the mouse goes in here just like one of my box traps. You know, it shuts a one-way door, hey? That one-way door shuts. So that one-way door goes and locks in there. And when they step on that pad, it unlocks it and it flips up and they can't get out. And it's got a little bait compartment in the back. Now these traps are, see, there's the bait compartment here. Put my apple slice back in there. I tried to put an apple slice, grape, some peanut butter, a little bit of this and that, hey? You know, it's smaller, so it fits well on the Vole tracks. Fits well on the Vole tracks. And not only does it fit well, but let's see if a good place to set it back up here. But when the voles come out, you know, I'm just gonna put it here next to this hole. See if I can catch one coming out of there. Like, I'm not gonna get more than, with these metal boxes I've been using, I'm getting more than one vole at a time. Sometimes that's okay, but sometimes that's no good. Sometimes those animals are eating each other in there, fighting and stuff, which, you know, is really torturous. So I think it's kind of better to have these single catch traps, and they're more camouflage. I don't know, I'm impressed. But yeah, 25 bucks for a pack of 3 of these on Amazon versus 25 bucks for a single tin box trap like I've been using from my local hardware stores. So here's another no-hitter. Yeah, I was talking to the cemetery yesterday. They're asking me how it's going with this effort, and here's another no-hitter. Jeez. All right, we're gonna go look on this. They asked me how it's going. I told them I think I've trapped out most of what's on the western edge of the cemetery, the western plots. Now I'm just moving kind of eastward with my traps, and I'll go right to Scenic Drive, and then we'll see how things are from there, whether I need to skip back around and do any more on this west side again immediately after that. But all right, so right now I'm just gonna look for some new vole areas to set up these metal traps. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I found out that my tax assessments, there's something really big wrong, and I gotta get on that right away. I know I owe a lot of money in back taxes for those 5 years anyway. I probably owe $20,000 to Canadian Revenue Agency, but not $34,000 for a single year. They did something wrong there. I gotta figure out what they did with their assessment that made it like that. And I'm sure it's just like a scare tactic because I haven't filed in so long. They're like, all right, we'll assess it for you, and now look what you owe, you know? Better get your information into us, kind of thing. Which I get it. I've been dragging my feet a lot, you know? And again, because I think I've been just kind of mainly in a altered reality since I separated way back in 2018. All right, we'll do some more updates on the trail with Taylor. I'm just gonna look around for some vole areas so I can get out of here. Check it out, there's another little military area here along this strip, and I found a really active vole area. So I put all 3 traps in this area because it stretches from here, comes along here under these graves, here, and then they run along back in here. I think there must be something, because these older graves out here, I don't see any vole activity. But stuff like this, I do. And I think this is just very much newer graves, and perhaps the stones are shallower. Maybe they don't go as deep or something. I'm trying to figure out why the voles choose the graves that they do. But I definitely don't see them really around these older graves that are just, you know, spaced out and different kinds of headstones and stuff. They're all mixed in with the new gravestones and concrete pads that are probably shallow enough they can get under them or something. Hey, anyway, oh, do you guys see that that thing? I don't know if it's real, but it's supposed to be like a Tesla driving through a graveyard, and all kinds of people that aren't there pop up on the Tesla's system as being there. Hey, that's kind of spooky. I'm not really one to get spooked, but and I don't even know if that's real, but if that's real, that's kind of trippy. Hey, anyway, go get in the truck with Taylor, and just out this way, just to the south of here, I think I'm gonna walk around these coulees. Where you see those trees out there, that's my friend and client Lane's house, and I'll probably go out the middle of this area. I want to go down to the river bottom, kind of by the country club here, where I know there have been some owl nests in the past. I'm still looking for my owl nest for this season, you know, to watch and to lead hikes to, and I've got one coming up in February, so gotta get that taken care of. Hey, my girl, scooch over, my Taylor, good girl. Let's go for the walk, my girl. Yeah, I still haven't found my owl's nest, like I was saying, and I'm almost giving up on finding the one in the wilderness park, if there is one this year. Been down there quite a bit, and I was down there again the other day, I think on Thursday. Even recorded some video. Chris went down there with me and Taylor, and we were going to address a question that I got from one of the YouTube members, Mr. Aaron Roth. He's one of the co-creative members, which means he pays almost you know, $30 a month on the channel. So with that, you can assign me a quest or give me a question per month. And in December, Aaron had asked me to do a video where I talk about Blackfoot perspectives on Imoyita peaks, the Bigfoot, Sasquatch, because in the video that Chris and I had done going up to Goat Lake in Waterton, we had talked a little bit about Bigfoot along the way. There'd been some clapping noises and stuff, and we talked about it a little bit, and I don't know, Aaron thought, let's hear more about this Bigfoot thing. So I have my perspectives on it as an Gimme, and Chris has her perspectives on it from the stuff that she's involved in spiritually. And so we're going to do a video. We probably will go up to the mountains and do one. But we did a little bit of recording down in Cottonwood, and I decided just not to use it because when I got home that day, I saw that I had a comment on a previous video that I did in Cottonwood admonishing me for bringing Taylor out there because it's a no dog zone. And some people want to have, you know, those couple of parks in Lethbridge you can go to where there's no dogs. Okay, myself, I feel like the no dog bylaw for Cottonwood and Alexander parks is very appropriate for the summer season, but not necessarily for the winter, because to me the value of those bylaws is not in the personal aesthetics that I get out of the place, or, you know, who I encounter there or not. To me, it is who I encounter there or not, but I want the greatest diversity, of course. You want the best for the ecological system. And so for that reason, I think it's important to keep dogs out of certain areas of the coulees, or at least on leash in certain areas of the coulees during the period when you're going to have snakes mating, birds ground nesting, turtles laying eggs, you know, etc. All the ground level reproductive stuff that goes on in the earlier half of summer. And then, you know, even for the birds going through their molt toward the end of summer, I think it's good to have the dogs on leash or kept out of certain parks. But in the winter, the only reason not to have them there is because Joe Blow doesn't want to run into a dog poop in the middle of a 10-mile wide fucking stretch of coulee. I'm sorry, but that's not what I think is the value of those bylaws from my perspective. Anyway, if I go down there some more with Taylor, I'm not going to take the video camera because they're sourpusses. I'll just do it my own and won't get to share it. That's okay. There's other places to go, like here, where I can bring Taylor, and that's what I'll cover in these videos, I guess. Certain parks, maybe certain parks just won't visit in these videos. I don't know. I feel like, you know, for me, it's more important definitely to be just efficient. I gotta walk Taylor every day. I gotta go look for owls, you know, so it made sense to me. There's nobody else in the park but me on every occasion that I've walked Taylor down there. But yeah, whatever, sourpusses, that's the way it is. Obedience. I'm not obedient. I'm feral. I'm just like barely on the edge of domesticity and about ready to leave it, you know? Come on, Tay. enough of my bitching. Let's go see if there might be an owl's nest down there. But oh yeah, when we were at Cottonwood, what I wanted to tell you is that it was, given that we were planning to talk about Imoita peaks, it was interesting. We walked through one area of the park that I go through. I've gone through many times, probably have shown it on even recent videos walking through that area, where there's kind of younger but not too young cottonwood saplings. In fact, I think I remember earlier in the season, even maybe at the beginning of winter, going through that area and commenting on the video itself that I made about how big the trees had grown there, because I'd known them for so long in that little strip. But anyway, while Chris and I were there on Thursday, we noticed that probably a dozen of those trees, right in one kind of tight little area, were snapped off at the trunk, you know, 3-4 feet above the ground. Now we do got high winds, of course, as is noticed by other complainers on my channel quite often. It's too windy. Yeah, no shit, I live in a hurricane zone. Like the other day even, I went to take my trash out for because they pick it up on Friday morning. So Thursday night I roll my trash can out to the curb, a wind gust comes up, snaps my trash can lid up into my face, breaks my nose open, like give me a bloody nose. We got serious winds here. Those of you who have wind complaints about my camera, you don't know what I go through. But I don't know if the winds pushed over those trees, but Chris's perspective is that it could just as easily be Imoitapi making his presence known, given that we were going around there and we're planning to talk about him or something. I don't know, but it was weird to see those trees broken off the way that they were. Now we're getting into the area of the Lethbridge Country Club, and down here, when I used to live in Riverstone, which is just up this way, or no, Riverstone is right there, hey? And then University of Lethbridge is there. Yeah, stadium's there, Riverstone. So I used to live in that neighborhood over there, and I would come out on that cliff over there and listen, and I could hear owls in the forest out here. And then one winter I did go down and identify the owl nest down there. Now, I didn't find, I found a great horned owl feather up in the cemetery, but I didn't find a nest. So I'm wondering if maybe the owls are living down here again, or still, you know. So I just figured we'll come do a little survey, me and Tay, if we can get in there. There's boundaries to go around. We can go all the way around, I don't care. I'm up for a good walk today. Yeah, so this is the area of river bottom forest that used to have owl nests in it when I lived in Riverstone, across the stream. It's definitely a nice isolated place for them. And I one time, a couple of years ago, picked up an owl, juvenile owl, on the Gulf Greens here. So it's not unlikely that they'd still have nests out this way. Especially with all the spruce trees too. There's a lot of spruce that the golf club itself has set up. Oh yeah, is that a net? No, thought I saw a nest pad out here. Used to be able to see the nest very clearly. It's a big pad, pretty high up in the trees. And there'd usually be an owl sitting nearby this season. I can't believe how warm it is. It's got to be above zero right now. Maybe 1 or 2 degrees above zero. It's supposed to maybe snow a little bit tonight. 20 to 30% chance of snow or something, but that's not much of anything, you know. We've had a very dry winter and a very mild temperature winter. And so much so that it's actually kind of frightening. I'm concerned about how much of a drought we're going to experience this summer. It could be pretty bad. Well, there may not be an owl's nest down in this stretch of forest. Might as well not be. There's not anywhere else either. Actually, I haven't checked the university campus yet. Sometimes there's owl nests there. But I didn't want to actually lead a nature hike on the university campus. I suppose I could bring them down Rust Rock area below and then bump back up to the nest or something as a final conclusion to the walk. I don't know if there's a nest there. Still just scouting. Well, there's Gate Scup, at least, the porcupine, hanging out in the canopy. Where are my owls, though? My porcupine walk is gonna be a no problem for January. I think I can go to any of the parks and find me a porcupine, but not as easy with coconut stokies nowadays. Yeah, I figured we surveyed this forest stretch from the top, walking northward. Figured I might as well come down to the bottom and search it again, walking back that way from the bottom. We'll see if there's anything. See, this whole area should be an oxbow here. Taylor, come here. It's okay. You stay here. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Come here. Come here. Hey, come here. Look, Taylor. Come. I got a treat for you because you were so good. Very good girl. Didn't chase the biker. That's good. Yeah, she does pretty good. So yeah, we'll walk back this way through the trees. But I don't think there's an owl in here. I think I'm struck out again. I gotta keep looking, keep searching. Well, no luck down there with those owls, like I thought. Once we'd surveyed the one way. Usually if I'm gonna see them, I'd see them from the top. So I just got a call through the rattlesnake hotline. Somebody has a porcupine in their yard on the west side. It's been hanging around the neighborhood for a few days, quilled their dog. It's under their deck now. So I'm gonna go back home with Taylor, grab up my big porcupine trap, and go set up for that porcupine. And then I think I might as well check the university while I'm at it and see if there's any owls over there. Yeah, that's my plan. So, just gotta hike back to the vehicle now. A few kilometers this way. Okay, I have crossed the river and am now on the University of Lethbridge campus, just checking out this patch of spruce trees where often in the past there have been owl nests. In fact, this is the remains of an owl nest right here. I haven't not seen any yet today. Run right into these fawn and mama isikotoi, which is the blacktail. And that reminds me, in the interim while I was coming over here, I stopped at the house to grab that porcupine trap and saw that Stachkumi had messaged me and answered that question about the short-tailed mouse, hey? The voles, right? I want to refer to them like short-tailed mouse. And he believes the best way for me to call them is sakotoi ganaskina. Sakotoi, which is just like in this case, saying sikotoi is like a black tail. Or if I'm talking about a white tail, like I was saying before, awatoi, they're wagging their tails, hey? So motoi is kind of if you're gonna have a tail that's described in a certain way, maybe, it's better to use otoi as the suffix than what was I, mohsois, right? Another way of saying tail on the body, but that's, I guess, not the one that's used most often if you're like reflecting on some quality of it. So sakotoi ganaskinex is what I'm dealing with at Omia Itestsotspi. Yeah, my guess is that these owls don't stay here anymore either, just like all the owls in all the other areas of the coulee. I mean, not all of them. Of course, there's definitely some owls somewhere in town here, but I'm not finding them. There's a good nest right there. Backing off just to see if I can get a glimpse of any residents. There shouldn't be anybody sitting eggs yet, but it'll be coming. But that would be so far the best looking owl nest in this clump. I'm not, however, seeing any owls, nor am I seeing a lot of I've seen a few little pieces of owl pellets and bone splinters and stuff, but not enough at the base of the trees to suggest anyone that's been roosting here. So I'm still thinking there's not going to be owls here nested either this year, which sucks. I should be calling them Sipistoiks if I'm saying owls generically, or Gakanotstokiks really for the specific ones I'm looking for, the great horns. See, like down in here, see, there's probably a little bone fragment. There's a little bone fragment. These probably came from old owl pellets, you know. But they've all disintegrated already. because they don't be here no more. Shoot. Well, this might be it for the video then. Lot of striking out. No catching, no voles, no finding, no owls. Just a lot of BS and hot air. But in any case, the show will go on, and but maybe this is it for this episode. You guys don't need to necessarily see me set a porcupine trap. If I pull it out of there from, if I can get it from under that porch with the catch pole, it's a different story. I'll get the camera running for it. But otherwise, get a matsuno boa.